Alright, welcome back to another build video here in Fallout 76. So before I get started today, I just want to say thank you to everyone who sent their well wishes last week. You know who you are. And also I wanted to thank I'm Happy to Poo for his help in filming some of the intro portion of the video. So thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Alright, so this is my kind of Halloween 2023 build. It's a kind of a take on a Mothman cultist cemetery takeover sort of thing. So we are here just east of Haven Church and just southeast of Raleigh Clay's bunker. There's the old abandoned church right behind me. It's part of kind of an unmarked quest. If you've never done it, I would suggest kind of going and seeking it out. It's kind of a nice spooky area here in the Mire. I'm in a custom world because I wanted to kind of showcase the camp in a Mothman Equinox kind of vibe. So that's kind of what I'm going for. And yeah. One thing to keep in mind for this location, I'm going to be completely honest with you, it is heavily contested. There's enemies all over the place, and anytime someone spawns in, new enemies spawn relentlessly. So keep that in mind if you're ever building here. You have to have tough skin for this place. Alright, cool. So there's three main portions: the cemetery, the watchtower thing up there, and obviously the mausoleum in the back. I couldn't remember what it was called at first. So I'll go through each one and I'll try to kind of go through what I did and how I did it. And let me know if you have any questions about how I did anything down in the comments. I'd be happy to elaborate. And I might be putting together kind of a quick short or something for some of these. You'll see in a second. All right, so let's go. So this is the main entrance. The gate is right here. And I used a lot of these, cast iron fences around, because it just kind of made sense for a cemetery. And so I flanked them with these stone pillars as well, because I thought it kind of made for a good entrance, I suppose. That makes sense. The walkway here, all I did here was I merged some of those stone benches down onto rugs, and then I used the dirt to kind of hide the rugs. And I maneuvered them in such a way so that it kind of looks like over time, because this is kind of supposed to be old and decrepit and overgrown, over time the mud kind of slipped and some of these steps kind of slid down the hill a little bit. And so that was kind of what I was going for. I do have some headstones here. It's not a ton. This isn't the biggest cemetery in the world, but you get the picture. And so I merged some of the coffins down into the ground as well. Kind of make it look like they're, I don't know, coming out of the ground or exploding out of the ground, or maybe they just hadn't been put in there yet. This tree was a little tough to kind of maneuver around, but what I ended up doing was I burnt the fence, and that allowed me to actually put this over the fence, because normally it wouldn't let you, because it interacts with each other. So I also elevated this lantern and I put it up into the cage to kind of make it look a little creepy. I think it works pretty well. And you'll see on the tree over there I have a spider web, and so you'll see a lot of those around. I just think it adds a lot of spookiness to the whole thing. And before I get started get too much into it, I guess I really wanted that, if you can see that blue devil in the background, I positioned him in such a way so that his eyes are staring right at you when you enter. I think it's like a maximum creepiness, and I just totally love it. All right. Yeah, so I merged a mannequin down into the coffin so that I could place the flaming skull. I think that's the oh god, I forget what the guy's name. Jack Gordon, I think. That helmet. And you'll see also throughout, I merged a bunch of these plants down. All I did there was also used a rug. I just merged it down into a rug, and then since it's just the ground, it'll let me sink it down pretty far. So, and then the dirt is kind of hiding the rug. You can't really see it. So you'll see them kind of dotted around here. And I think it kind of gives it a little, well, creepy look, but also kind of like an overgrown sort of feel. Cool. So they merged this thing, Prickett's Fort thing. I forget what it's called. But, it looks like a big tombstone, so I'm going with it. Then I just kind of dotted some candles on there. We don't have a ton of tombstone-like stuff, so I'm used this statue as well. I thought about doing a little bit more with that, but ultimately I just kind of put it on the ground there. Just not a whole lot of fanciness to it, to be honest. All right. I have a little campfire here in the middle. I wasn't really sure what to do with this kind of space, so I just put a little campfire here because that would kind of make sense. Cultists come around and hang out and chant and all that kind of stuff. Little pupper memorial here. And this little area over here was kind of what I initially started for the cemetery. So I knew I wanted to use Stephen Scarsbury and his shrine. So the thought was that the Mothman kind of came in and took over this, abandoned church and the graveyard. And this shrine he's using was an old kind of gravestone. So he kind of came in and turned it into a shrine, basically. And all I did there was I merged that wooden shelf with you can see it over here as well, this wooden shelf, down into, first I merged the Wraith Scarecrow down into that wooden shelf, and then I merged both of them down into his shrine. It took a little while because he just constantly loves to pray at a shrine, so it took a while to kind of get the merging done right, but I think it looks fucking awesome. And you can hit the Wraith and he glows up like that and screams. It's fucking awesome. Just love it. Yeah, and I just dialed it up with a bunch of, knickknacks and things. I wish we had more gory stuff. I would love Bethesda. I would love one of those blood sacrificial things like you see in Point Pleasant. I would love some of those to dot around our camps. It doesn't have to produce anything. I just would love it for decoration. And yeah, as you can see, more spider webs and stuff strewn about, and I just love this so much. So I'm really happy with how it came out. Cool. And yeah, that's the graveyard, and this leads up to the mausoleum, but I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I'll show you. So I put this down. I just have one of these down. We are almost in the cranberry bog after all. And all I did here, I merged the Blue Devil statue down onto, I think, one of those little Red Rocket trinkets, or not Red Rocket, sorry, Nuka-Cola trinkets. And you can't see it here because it's hidden by the bramble. But yeah, I just merged it down so it looks like he's just walking. It's not a statue. It looks fucking creepy and cool. So I love doing that. Let me know down in the comments how many brambles you think I used. I think it's 20 or 25. It's so many, to be honest, because a lot of these things, when you place them down, strip away the grass. Although some grass was, you couldn't bulldoze it. So I used so many brambles. I might go back and look and see actually how many I did use and let you all know. I just thought it was so funny. All right, now I'll go up in the watchtower next. I do have a little gate here as well, so Steven can come out. He never leaves that fucking place though, to be honest. So, but I dolled up the watchtower a little bit. I have some spider webs and some bone chime defensive things up there as well. Some spooky skulls and this Mothman totem as well to kind of jazz it up. And my spooky camp module. Okay. I added a fence here as well. It's a good tip by I'm Happy to Poo. This lip here doesn't like to allow things to kind of snap onto it. So what I did was I added a conduit up here so that I could hang this this firefly jar thing. And it worked pretty well. Yeah, and here just a little sleeping kind of living quarters for him. A cooking stove, some other things to kind of make his little vials of tinctures and stuff, whatever he needs, that sort of thing. Very simple stuff. I think this is the Raider skull bed or something we might have got last season. Or maybe it was a part of the bundle. I honestly can't remember. There's so much stuff now. It's so hard to remember where I got it all from. But yeah, really basic. Pots and pans up there. Little fire stove. So yeah, really super basic stuff. Really, I put this up for the spooky graveyard vibes because it has that in droves for sure. So I love it. I just picked that up. It was actually on sale. I think it might actually still be on sale for Fallout First users. So if you haven't picked it up yet, definitely do. I think it was like $500 or maybe cheaper. I forget. I think it was like 700 originally, and now it's like 500 atoms. I don't know. But pick it up if you haven't. All right, so now this area is the sacrificial altar sort of thing. So what I did here, I'll kind of walk through everything. All the decoration around is pretty basic. I got your coffins and your, radiated plants and that sort of thing. Your Mothman totems. What I did here was, so we got the egg nest, I think a couple months ago, and I never use it for anything because it's kind of weird, a weird thing to put in camps. But what I ended up doing was I merged some of the blood, what's it called? Like that stuff, the meat pile, down into it, and then I merged this new Mothman egg thing we got from the recent event for this year. So I merged that down. I just got that like yesterday. And it works so freaking well here. It looks so good. And then I merged that skull totem, or the skull display down in there too. But I love how it all looks. It came together really well. It almost looks like a Mothman can come here and like lay its eggs and, as you're like praying on the altar, like doing something, sacrificing ghouls or whatever, super mutants or humans. It's just so creepy. It looks cool. This is that stone bed, the stone tomb bed that came in the bundle with that mausoleum. And so I'm using it as an altar. And all I did was I merged the, that meat pile scrap box and then that meat pile floor decor down into it as well to kind of give it a creepy look. Yeah, I think it came together really well. And this big totem here, what I did was initially I merged that, I don't know if you can tell, yeah, it's back there. I merged that down into a spike trap and triggered the spike trap, so it went away, disappeared, and then I placed the Fashnot fire under it, so it gave it kind of a nice kind of sacrificial Mothman look. It looks really cool. I wasn't really sure what to do this kind of like dead space here. I merged this shelf down to make it seem like it was, I don't know, like there was kind of something there, but like an extra little place to store stuff. That was kind of the idea. I don't know, I think it works pretty well. Another plant back there. And here, what I did was, how I got the vines there. There's a kind of a vine anywhere trick that Vapid Valentine, I think, came up with, if I remember correctly. That so it's kind of a similar situation to the place anywhere door trick, except you have the vines on. But it worked pretty well. So I put up some foundations and I positioned the vines so that they kind of fit within that little nook, and did it there. I'll link to her video where she kind of showed how to do that down in the description, so so you can take a look at her video. That build that she did during that was really cool. So all right, cool. And then before I go in, I'll just show you kind of real quick back here. Not a lot, just a little bit of power. I just have a generator back there kind of powering some stuff, so nothing too crazy, but it's nicely hidden and out of the way. All right, let's go in. So the one thing to know about the mausoleum is I wanted to put some of the candles and stuff down on the steps, but it won't let you. The hitbox is kind of weird for it. They sort of hover above the step and they don't sit snugly on the step, so that's why it's kind of bare, which is kind of unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? All right. So for some reason this actually fit 2 doors. So I have the sliding curtain, the sliding like bloody curtain door, and the mausoleum door, and I think it works really well. I just love it. Come on. Doesn't want to do it. There we go. I just have some curtains up. So the idea for this was kind of like a torture room, like a cultist torture room, sort of thing. And so I just filled it up with a bunch of torture-y stuff. So over here, I just kind of merged the chopping block down into the blood pile, or the meat pile. To kind of, person who's up here is, you're chopping meat, you're kind of making them scared and that kind of thing. I don't know. Got another blue devil thing here. I love what they did with his eyes. It's so good. Such a nice touch. And agua. Mounted agua as well. More jars and tinctures and potions and stuff up here on the shelves, which I think worked really well. This kind of skeleton display works really well in here, obviously. This was recently part of the bundle. I think that we got that other workbench in. This is technically a workbench, right? And so I put a dartboard behind him, so it's kind of torturing them with the dartboard, throwing darts at them and that sort of thing. I changed his head to a mole rat head. I changed his head to a oh my god, what is that called? The big fly. Why can't I think of what it's called? My brain is not helping me today, that's for sure. So I have a meat pile up here. So I ended up suspending the meat pile using the trick, the camp module trick. And I just did that with I don't know if you can see it down here, that little Nuka-Cola trinket. And then all I did was I used the colored light bulb to make it look like it's, kind of being supported and kind of dangling there. And then I turned the bulb red so that, it gives it a nice kind of glow. I did initially have we got those new paper lanterns which are really great, by the way. Awesome addition. I didn't use them here just because it didn't kind of fit the vibe, you know. But the orange one worked pretty well in here, but I ultimately wanted like kind of a red, so I did have that. But I think it looks pretty cool anyway. I do have my vendor in here. I kind of struggled with what to do with that, but so the tub and like another meat pile back there. And how I did that was the meat pile and the tub are all on that springboard trap back there, if you can see it. And then I triggered the trap so it disappeared, and then I just put the electric chair and that totem there as well to kind of spice it up a little bit. And then over here I put another, oh actually sorry, I should go through this. I put this pumpkin there in place of my spooky candy bowl because the incessant freaking music from that thing was driving me bonkers, so I had to get rid of it. But in this display case here I just have, if you can see, I have a bone hammer, you know, a saw, some calipers or some tongs, and another hammer, like a ball peen hammer. Nice little torture devices, you know, if you want to come in and do some torturing up here. So all right, again, I just kind of filled this with like spooky stuff, especially that doll's creepy as heck. Back there you can kind of see I put that one of those new kind of arc Tesla power conduit things, and it just kind of gives a super nice vibe, you know, to the whole thing. I think looks really cool. And I rigged it up so that you probably saw in the video, when you hit that button, I have a bunch of stuff back there that kind of that goes off. So I have a fireworks projector thing, a pyrotechnics thing, a radiation trap, and the electric trap as well. You can see back there. It's all kind of hidden. You can't really see it. So, oh, and I rigged up you can hear those speakers. I rigged up the speaker because it's annoying. And, you know, this is a torture room after all. So, if the actually, you know what? I should have just kept the spooky bowl of candy, because that would that's more torturesome than any noise I could invent with those speakers, to be honest. Oh God. Speaking of a torture room, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the build. It was a ton of fun to put together. You know, I wanted to do something that was kind of like unique, and I hadn't seen many other people do, and I think it came out really well. I'm really happy with it. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do, you know, maybe some quick tutorials with that shrine, and maybe the Mothman nest thing. I can do those in shorts, and but if there's anything else you want to see or have any questions about, please let me know. I'd be happy to kind of elaborate on them down in the comments below. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all my subscribers and to everyone who likes and comments on my videos. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a great Halloween, and I will talk to you later. Have a good one.